YouTube. Okay, there's the YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. You're joining Periscope. You're coming in late to the scope because I can't play music on YouTube. You can get away with it on Periscope. But what we're going to talk about is things that are happening. So anyone who watched the Wednesday Periscope who's contacted me, their life has changed. I've gotten over like 150 messages from people. I've never had a Periscope where more than 30 people or 20 people contacted me. 150 people have reached out. This isn't just replies and tweets. These are emails. This is my Facebook profile, or not profile, my Facebook page messages. This is DM. This is the alternative account on Twitter. This is Instagram. People have looked and clawed and scratched for ways to contact me. And I will tell you, I am physically and emotionally and mentally exhausted because I have literally been on the phone with everyone from everywhere. And I guess figuratively. And I am tired, but my spirit is not. The fight is about to happen. And we are preparing ourselves. So here's some things that are happening. I woke up today and I saw a very powerful tweet from Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec's tweet mentioned that he denounced the concentration camps and the genocide that China is committing in some place that starts with a U, and the Muslims are the victims. And he put that tweet out, and it spoke to my soul. So I put out a similar tweet, because what I've been teaching, especially these past 2 weeks, but, well, not 2 weeks, like 2 months, but what's more clear about what I'm teaching this past week is that if Christians are not in control of society and civilization, it starts breaking apart. There is no other religion and there is no other idea who has delivered economies and civilizations and countries that are stable in spite of people not believing in that idea. And I've told you guys, I've been observing this for a year. I said, what does it mean when so many secular, non-Christian thinkers believe that Christians need to be in control, or that Christians contributed more to civilization stabilization than anyone else? Stefan Molyneux, Michael Cernovich, Jordan Peterson. None of these guys are professed Bible-believing Christians. And yet, they say that the way behind and the way forward is a reverence for Christianity. This is very powerful. Something is happening. And in the past week, I've only had a half of a bad day. Everything else has been an hour by hour watching miracles. An hour by hour basis of watching miracles. I'm going to say that one last time so that you know I believe it. Every hour I have been awake, I have watched a miracle happen. Nothing short of it. You could call it coincidences, but when you have two friends telling you who don't know each other, saying the same thing, it's a very powerful thing to watch. And I only had half a bad day. Only half a bad day. That was the first half of yesterday. And yet God still delivered. You know, one person that's going to watch this Periscope, and so I'm going to tell her something that I haven't told her yet. But, you know, we first became friends, and she is a Christian, but kind of left Christianity. And then she said, Ali, your scopes are making me kind of fall back in love with Christianity. And that made me very happy. But she's still into some other stuff. And some of that stuff is cool. And then some of that stuff was weird to me. And I've been praying for her, but I never told her this stuff. And then finally, she said, I had a dream that I need to share with you about you. And she shared it with me. It was very powerful. Very, very powerful. Very potent. And everything she shared with me came true. And that was very powerful. And then 2 days ago, maybe it was yesterday morning, I don't know. Everything's a blur right now. She contacted me and said, I'm going to read you guys the exact text message so I don't butcher this, because this helped confirm for me that I was right to be praying this prayer for her for this many months. She said, The last few weeks have shown me areas where I've dipped too far into false teachings of the new age, deception. And so now you're watching this, and I didn't tell you anything. I replied back with good, but I meant good in the fullest sense. I meant good in the fullest sense. And I think it's powerful when I'm not the one in control. And I think it's powerful when I don't have to tell someone something and God reveals himself in another way to someone else. It is very powerful. And I don't think there's any other reason why a lot of us are retooling and reshaping ourselves and becoming better versions of ourselves, except for that we have a big fight ahead of us. A big physical and civic fight ahead of us. In this realm is what I mean. In the physical realm, we have a big fight ahead of us. And I think you have to come to a fight with your best, you know? And that's why I'm talking this way. Did you guys know that, as I said, I was stringing myself up on a cross on that LSD confessional Periscope? No one from DC has reached out and said, Ollie, you were reckless. More people told me I was doing harm for the party by going to Florida to stop the steal than have contacted me about that LSD Periscope. Very powerful. I want to tell you guys something else that happened. The most powerful thing that's happened in the past week, aside from God telling me exactly what to do with one particular person and everything worked out great, is this guy. One thing I did is I surrendered to authority immediately. I appointed 4 people in my life who are Bible-believing Christians and who also believe that there is a metaphysical realm and that miracles come from that realm and then they manifest themselves in the physical world. These are people who are intellectually honest and they give me no quarter intellectually. None. And I said, I'm submitting to you as one Christian to another. I want you to review this Periscope. Tell me what you think. And I also, if there is a false teaching in it, why would you please tell me? And last night, I had the 4th conversation with the 4th person. And I am pleased to report back to you that all 4 of those people, you know, one of them's Catholic, one of them's, they're just different people. I'll just put it that way. One's Catholic, the other ones aren't, you know? And they all said, this is God. This is God. And that made me so happy to be obedient, so happy, because I'll tell you this, I've talked with God. I've received visions, and that can sound kooky to people, but not really worried about that. But I've never had a revelation where I saw something so clear in a tense, I don't want to say it's a future tense, in a tense in which I had to give it back and give it to the people. Never happened in my life. That's what happened in August. And what I shared with y'all on Wednesday is exactly what it was. And so now I don't have to be shy about it. The I am, the one, the origin of it all. That was so beautiful to share. And it's amazing because there's some people who've been skeptical, and then I made them watch the Periscope, and it's changed. It's just changed them. And it's because we rung a frequency. I think we were ringing at a frequency that no one can stop. That no one can stop. It's addicting once you taste it. And I'm just not really worried about anything else. I'm so happy. And so, why is that camera frozen? Well, it's weird. It says I'm not frozen here, so I guess I'm still moving. And I want to tell you, it was amazing. My mother is very skeptical sometimes of some of my ideas, and she sharpens my ideas, and then so does my brother. And when I first told them parts of what I thought had been revealed to me while I was on acid, they both said I needed to tell everyone, and I waited. And that was very powerful. So someone in the chat room asked me, how would you explain God, how God speaks to you? Is it a voice through other things or others? Well, I will tell you, I talked about that in the scope that I'm referencing. So if you've told me you were going to watch that scope and then not watch that scope, then you won't be able to answer that answer. But I've spoken on at least 4 occasions, my personal experiences with God and his voice. So I'll just leave that for you to find. And let me tell you guys what else has happened. What else is something that's happening? The conversation with the 4th person last night, who was the only female of the bunch, said something last night, and I started laughing, and she said, why are you laughing? I said, that same phrase that you just used has been used 4 times, and you're the 4th person. So I said, earlier today it was my friend blah, yesterday it was me, and then the day before it, or no, yesterday it was another person, and then the day before it was me. And I said, I just find it funny that none of y'all watched me, and all of y'all used the same exact methodology for confirming what is true and what is not. We are on the right path. We are called to wreck some shit up and to save some shit and to create some shit. And I'm just so excited about that. You have to know you're living in the truth. It's very scary to be messing around with things that you don't want to be messing around with. What's something else I can tell you? Well, I talked about this on another scope, but let me tell you something else I will tell you. So a gentleman who watches these periscopes watched the periscope, and the next morning he was taking a shower. He felt very, very exhausted, whatever. And so he bent down and he felt compelled to pray at the bottom of his shower. And he closed his eyes and he prayed. And when he prayed, he said that he saw a vision of a person who looked like me. And I won't say exactly what happened, but it was a weird type of vision. And he said, I don't want to tell Ali that because this person looks up to me. And this person believes that they've been given a prophetic gift since they were a child. I will tell you, this person rings at a nice frequency because they were only following. I was only aware of their existence for a month and a half before I followed them on Twitter, which I never do. But they were so smart, so potent, and they were always catching things at the end of periscopes and then tweeting them out that I said, this person has a very, not just a high IQ, but they're ringing at a frequency. And I said, I was bothered by his vision. I'll be honest. I was bothered by what he said his vision was. And it kind of sounded weird to me. And then I realized there's a couple weird things that were happening to me. Why were weird things happening when great things were happening? And so I was just like, what does this mean from God to me? And then, so anyway, I told this person, thank you for being obedient. You feel like you were obedient to God. So thank you for being obedient to God. And I'll let you know if I receive confirmation. So if this is a true vision, it will manifest itself in my life, or I will see something that will be so similar and eerie that I'll share it with you, And what you have to understand about prophecy or dreams in Bible and visions is oftentimes there's a vision and then there's an interpreter. Not all the time, but a lot of times in the Bible, there is a person who has a dream or a vision and then a person who interprets. That is how God structured things if you read the Old Testament. Then there are other times when people have a gift, a prophecy, and they will see it, or a revelation, they will see it, and then they will share it. And those are 2 different things. And so, he kept sending me texts or DMs and DMs and DMs and DMs, and finally I said, stop abusing my DM folder. It is disrespectful to me, my work, and other people who are expecting me to review their messages and maybe respond. And he said, okay, Ollie, but I just have to be honest with you. And I said, what do you mean honest with me? And he said, I didn't tell you everything. He said, let me tell you exactly what happened and embellish nothing or nothing. And when he told me the real vision he had and his own responses to it, it was different than what he had told me. And I told him, you were not obedient. If you believe you were given a vision from God, one, you have an obligation to walk boldly in that. You're not allowed to be timid and come to me. I'm a human being. Don't worship me. So you were scared of what I would think of you. And, oh, would I unfollow you? Would I think you're weird? And da-da-da-da-da. If God tells you to say something, you best bust ass and say something. And I said, and secondly, what I want to tell you, this is called correction in the Christian community. And then I said, secondly, your reaction to your own vision was this, and it polluted you, and you worked that in to the message you told me. So you told me an instruction that God never gave you. So he told me his vision, and then he gave me an instruction. But it turns out his vision never gave instruction. It was his interpretation of his vision that he worked up before he gave it to me. And then I said, secondly, the exercise that you did after your vision, which I'm not going to say what it was, is something that a previous person had done and that I had felt very eerie of. So I said, beware of demons, dude. And he said, I'm going to go pray about this. He went back and prayed, and he came back to me. He said, you're right, Ollie. And he said, let me tell you what else happened. He said, this was the first time I felt I had been given a prophetic word to share with someone, and I didn't go to one of my mentors. So I said, aha, there you have it. You're given visions, but you're supposed to have them interpreted by someone wiser or different and has that gift. So that was illuminating. And then he's like, and you're right. He's like, I'm so close to God, and yet I don't know, how far away I am. And he said, I'm going to delete my Twitter account. He's like, I don't need to walk in timidness. And I'm walking and tiptoeing in timidness because I was afraid of what you would think and I shouldn't be. And I was like, you have no reason to be. No reason to be afraid of me. And so it was nice. It was just very, very nice. But it was nice because it also confirmed that someone else who had told me something was also acting out of human love, but they were not telling me something that was given by God. And so it's very powerful. I'm just telling you, this stuff is happening every hour of my life right now. It's intense. I'm in a whirlwind, And I'm having some conversations with people who tell me to do this or do that. I'm like, I'm not doing anything anyone says. I'm not doing a damn thing anyone says. No one got me here. I didn't get me here. There is no way I'm about to listen when someone says, Ollie, do this, unless there is another sign that I need to do it. And right now the signs are coming in hot and heavy. So I already told you guys about the book, right? My friend Peter sent me a book. And he kind of prayed over it. And he said, well, I hope Ali does this. When I opened the package, I could hear it loud and clear in my own voice. I was like, I hope Peter does this. And we called each other, and it was like two teens predating or something. It's like tiptoeing around the issue, and we finally got to it, and it was like we both wanted the same thing. Remember this, he wanted something. I could have said yes. It's not that I wanted yes, I wanted the same something. We both had the same question for each other. There was never a need for a yes or a no. We had the same question for each other. There was immediate agreement upon seeing the gift that he sent me, the book. Very powerful stuff. And it's just very powerful. It's very intense. I want to tell you guys, I haven't written any of my speeches for American Priority. I'm supposed to speak every day. I'm just going to wing it. It'll all be taken care of. It'll all be taken care of. Because I don't really need to impress anyone. I sure as hell don't need to impress anyone in politics. Why was I impressing people in politics? Why did I care? I don't remember why it is Ali used to care about that. My raw thoughts are good enough in politics. I need to discern and prep when I'm giving periscopes and philosophy and and spirituality and Christian doctrine. Those are the things I need to be putting mental energy into. The name of the book is Avedon. Why am I forgetting the black dude's name? Oh my God. It's called Nothing Personal. Oh, Avedon Baldwin. So it's a collab book. It's a famous photographer and a famous writer, James Baldwin, got together and they did a book. And it's called Nothing Personal. They put it out in the 60s, I think, 60s to 70s. And it's a very powerful book. And Peter and I are now doing a book together that's like it. And it's going to tell the story of the intellectual and social American Civil War. Oh, shoot. I forgot to call Tom back. Oh, shoot. I forgot to call you. But I didn't get off the phone until just 15 minutes ago and then scoped. Wow. Got to report this to Facebook. All right. So what else? I will tell you, I'm watching people be reformed. Why don't you guys tell me some of the stories in the chat room? You don't have to make it up. It's so powerful to watch. And let me tell you something else. This is going to sound kind of weird. A couple of times these past few days, I've been getting, like, my mouth has been watering a little bit. Like, you get a little lockjaw if you do LSD. They suggest that you do an ibuprofen. And I felt that a couple of days. I felt that today when I'm just in the zone. And just is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Everything is so beautiful. Even the destruction, that I foresee for the markets and for America is so beautiful. Just so beautiful. And God's given me the ability to say no to people. And I never had that ability. I always want to help everyone. I always want to be the diplomat, the big brother, the dad. I will cut off my arm to help somebody. And now I realize that's not a good way of leading people or teaching people, because y'all need a lot. God requires a lot. Who am I to deprive people of my best? When did I drop it? Last Wednesday. So it's literally pinned on my Twitter. So if you went to my Twitter, it literally is just at the top of my Twitter. Someone said, what do you suggest for someone who was taught right but left the Lord and wants to come back? What is there to teach? What is there to teach? Come back. Come back. Run back. Rush back. Tonight's Wednesday. Every church in America is open. Rush back. Get off this Periscope. Rush to the nearest Baptist or Methodist or non-denominational church. They're probably crazy, but rush. Let that fervency act as a testimony for God so that others might see him move. God has moved your heart. Move other people. And what I would say is that if God's calling you back, he's calling to prepare you. And I think that that's what everyone needs to be doing. You need to figure out what's wrong in your life. You got to fix it real quick. You got to have resources. You got to be mature. You got to do what it is you're supposed to be doing. If you were lollygagging on something, You know, if God told you to go to school, go to school. If God told you to drop out, drop out. If you're doing something in your life because everyone else wants you to do it, but you know it's the wrong thing, you need to immediately, tonight, rectify that. If you're in a relationship you don't need to be in, get out of it tonight. If you need to be in a relationship with someone that you're not in, there's someone that you want to go work with, fucking go pitch it to them. Pitch it to them. You know, the hour's nigh and you're going to die one day. Go do it. Go do it. Someone said, I'm in California. I'm wary of churches here. There are bad churches everywhere. Maybe God will put you in a plant there that you might rebirth it. You know, go there. You don't have to, you can go there for fellowship and not necessarily for doctrine. So, I'm just so excited about what's happening. I mean, the synchronicity is crazy. Everything I've wanted has happened. You know, I was even late to buying my flights and then realized, oh yeah, I have enough points. You know, so instead of paying the quintuple price of the ticket, I just use my points. And then, you know, the hotel, use my points. It's like God's like, I'm gonna you know, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. Someone said, I don't trust church, but I believe his word. Is that bad? You don't need to trust a church. Trust but verify. I don't trust the government. You know? You can't treat the church differently than you decide to treat everything else in your life. That's not right. That's not fair. You know, go to church for fellowship. You know, and quite frankly, no one should trust themselves for parsing through the word over scholars or finding consensus. Not that you would find that at church, but the idea that you should trust, you know, whatever, you know, yourself over everything is silly. You're one piece of it. So go. I mean, one day what we're going to do is we're going to challenge the modern Christian churches. We're going to say, are you teaching right or are you teaching wrong? Are you teaching according to how the apostles wanted you to, or are you just flinging out there by yourself? One day, 10 million Christians will be listening to this Periscope or my broadcast, whatever platform it's on. And we are going to save civilization. We're going to save civilization. And it's going to be not just with Christians, it's going to be with everyone. It's going to be with everyone. But it is to the Christians to steward this universe, you know, to its natural end. It is our job. It is our job. We're the chosen people. It is our job to have sound doctrine in place in which other ideas can be inspired, like a constitutional republic, like the Magna Carta. You know, it's our job. Due process. You know, those are our job. And so we must, you know, go through the world. You know, heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So, very powerful things happening. And I'm just so excited to be a part of them. Someone said, is there anything you need prayer for, Ollie? Well, I need everyone to pray for me daily, that I am leading and speaking righteously, that I shave off some of these rough edges, that I'm never speaking for myself without giving that clearance, that I'm never speaking for God unless I give that clearance. That what we do and what we build together is something very beautiful and powerful and brings us all together. And that's what I need prayer for. So I need prayer for, prayer for this calling. And that's what I want. That's what I'd like prayer for. And I want to continue to speak boldly. I talk about ethnic issues, racial issues. I talk about politics. But none of this is commentary. This is teaching people how to sort out themselves without the sales gimmick. I don't have a sales gimmick. I'm just here to teach you. I'm here to teach you what's working for me and what I know. That's it. That's it. I'm only here for those purposes. I'm not here to sell you, one day I will have a course, but, I'm not here to sell you a course on something or, give you, it depends on what you mean by that. None of those gimmicks. I'm here to tell you the truth or I don't know. That's what we got to do. All of you are family to me. But I'm out of sweet tea. And yeah, there's so many people who have come back to their family. I know that Janet has reconciled with some of her family and going back to her faith. I know that Ryan is either trying or going back to his faith. Lots of things are happening. And I'm watching and I'm reading and I'm listening. And it's just beautiful. Yeah, # we got love. And is having an agenda bad? And if not, what is your agenda? Having an agenda is not bad. My agenda has always been the same. I've said this for years, over a decade. I know I was put on this earth to tell people that they are sovereign under heaven. I'm here to tell you, you are sovereign under heaven. And that's why we are reclaiming our crowns. There's a dutiful response. The king is simultaneously free to do whatever he wants and responsible for everything that everyone is doing. And amen. And I think that this is powerful. This is very, very powerful. The 2019 Ali is going to be a very different Ali. I'm going to walk fast and bold and strong. And and everyone who wants to help me will have an opportunity to help me, and everyone who doesn't have to. But I'm done with the waiting. I'm done with the mutualness. I'm done with the fake equality. I'm done with all of these principles that the modern age has given us. I'm done with leisure. I'm done with all of that. People can do what they're meant to do in their lives or not. And it's just a beautiful thing that's happening. Someone asked, am I a Muslim? No, I'm not a Muslim. I am a Christian. So I guess that's enough stories that I want to share with y'all. It's beautiful what's happening. It's just beautiful. I feel like I'm in a daydream. When I took the LSD, I was telling the person I was taking it with that I was afraid that I would not come back to reality. Maybe I never did. Because I'm walking like a dream, y'all. I'm walking like a dream. I get so happy getting ready for the day. Someone said, "What?" It's just I'm living in a dream state. People are texting me principles and concepts that I'm hearing echoed elsewhere. It's leading me to study and truth. I'm taking notes. I'm listening to old songs and hearing new words. Go watch that powerful Periscope. It's at the top of my Twitter page, twitter.com/ALI. Twitter.com/Ali. And if you want to hear any of these, a lot of people are asking me questions. When did I take it? When was the moment you have Christ? Why is your name Ali if you're not Muslim? All of those can be found all over my Twitter and in that Periscope. So if you want to hunt for those answers, get those answers. I want to encourage you to find those answers if the answer is what you're looking for. Yeah, I'm here to beam positive energy into you. Radiate. I'm here to lead. I'm here to lead. I'm here to be a champion. A champion. Yeah, Twitter is shadow banning me. I talk about that. Who cares? Let's keep going. You know, we can't be stopped. We can't be stopped. I'm going to be building a lot of tools this next year, and we're all going to fund them. We're going to build tools that build censorship-resistant expressions of speech. Yeah, the Milo stuff is sad. I've been praying for Milo. And I texted Milo and told him I'd help him out some. It's very beautiful. Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Let me do this. I'm going to say bye to the YouTube channel, but I'm going to keep it going on Periscope. Smash the thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe, youtube.com/Ali Alexander.